a person in the Songwriters Hall of Fame who had some thoughts, and we stumbled upon this and thought it was worth sharing.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Jermaine Dupri.
Yeah, because they saying people not buying it. They saying the labels normally are not pushing it. Could that be it got pushed because Jermaine Dupri did it? I don't. We got three dudes right here that did mega R&B records. They don't do it the way y'all three did it. I don't think people know how to make R&B anymore. I don't think they're interested in making R&B. I think they can. That's what I'm saying. Interesting. Like I was just having the same conversation a minute ago at EP on the way over here, and I heard the fucking Leon Thomas record 3 times on the radio before we got here to do the interview. And I'm like, yo, how many times do you play the song? And the conversation was that niggas ain't making records, so this is the record that's filling that void, right? I just think that that's the same thing happened with the Money Long record. It was like, who else makes a record like Made for Me? Mariah Carey, who else? Monica. You know what I mean? Nobody right like, now. Yeah, you know because they saying people doing it. I feel like first of all, R&B used to really run it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. R&B, like hip hop took over, but R&B was like. Then hip hop had a little bit of the void here, and you would hear it, but all you would hear is R&B. You had R&B groups, you had R&B soloists. Like it was crazy, but it kind of like took a turn, and now it's kind of like in limbo. Like people enjoy it when they hear it, but I feel like they don't respect it like they used to respect. Yeah, they definitely don't respect it, and that. But I mean, it's still like I guess this question was, how do I continue? I just continue to keep doing it because I know that, like you said, they enjoy it when they hear it. You got to be able to just like. I mean, you have thick skin too. I'm not scared of making a record that don't work because that's what you do. Every record ain't gonna work. You can't even get that in your mind because you'll crash. You know what I'm saying? If you think every song gonna work, every record don't work. But you can that shouldn't make you like fall back from making it. You know what I mean? And it's with R&B records, it should be like B section, the bridge. Mm-hmm. Like it's like they kind of like microwave it to make it like one straight song and not have all those different changes and the bridge. R&B is like that soul, the range of emotion. So like the song would be like a roller coaster. Like you know what I mean? Like it'd be the main part and then the B section, the bridge, and all that stuff is kind of missing nowadays. Yeah, but I mean it's a lot of young guys that don't even know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Like it's like niggas don't even want to be taught to make music. Like when I first started making Usher My Way, I'm like, this is the first album I ever produced a R&B male. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. You know what I mean? So I had people that like, yo, you should put a bridge right here. I'm like, bridge, and I'm a rap guy, right? I'm like, I don't like bridges. I'm thinking like I probably young niggas. I don't want to have no bridge with R&B. That should take away from the song. Like it take me away from my groove. But you have to pay attention to that because, like what he's saying, that's what those elements distinguish what's the difference between rap records and R&B records. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. Yeah. A lot of these producers don't have that separation to be like, oh, this is an R&B song, this is a rap record. Mm-hmm.
All right, long clip, but that was Jermaine Dupri on the Bag Fuel podcast, and the other person you hear doing most of the talking is DJ Clue.
I have a question about the beginning of the clip that I had when I first watched it. Is the implication of what Jermaine Dupri is saying that Mutt is not R&B music?
No. He's saying it is R&B music, but there's not.
There's not enough.
Right.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I understood what he was trying to say about Mutt.
He's saying that the Leon Thomas record, the Money Long record, those records are true R&B, and they are filling a void today because there's such a lack of R&B available to the public.
Right. So they end up oversaturating simply because there's nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it. I just wanted to make sure I understood what he was saying because a lot of times when we listen to these clips or watch these clips and there was clearly a conversation beforehand, I sometimes just want to make sure that it's not out of context. The way I'm understanding it is not out of context. So this is interesting. As an R&B lover, as the king of R&B,
this your topic.
I have to say it is different today.
Yes.
There's no doubt about it. I also think that this is more of an awareness thing than something that doesn't exist, right? So I think that maybe R&B artists don't get elevated the same way that they used to. And maybe that's just because we kind of tell the media kind of tells you what you want, in a sense. If the radio stations are pushing Money Long and Leon Thomas and no other R&B artists, or very few R&B artists, or they're playing old R&B and not new R&B, and then they're playing, well, I know for a fact that they're playing Kendrick and SZA all day long, right? If that's all you're getting,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't necessarily mean that the R&B doesn't exist. It means those are the artists that are being pushed to the front, in my opinion.
I think it's layered. I don't disagree. I think there's more to it than that. I think that is a piece of it. But I think some of the things that he's saying are very true. Tank said something similar, I don't know, a year ago or earlier this year. I don't remember exactly when, but Tank, an R&B legend, Tank said some similar things that he said today the rappers are all singing.
Well, that's true.
What makes the music different? What makes and the beats are all very similar, right? So what makes the singer's record stand out from
Mhm.
the rapper's record, right?
Right.
And so when you have this newly competitive nature of the rapper versus the singer, because the
Mhm.
rapper is the singer,
Right.
the value of the singer gets decreased. This is what Tank was saying. I'm summarizing.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Also, those components that make R&B truly stand out and truly make you hold on to the record, right? In memory and in heart.
Hmm.
Those components have gone missing, which is the same thing Jermaine Dupri is saying. The
Right.
crooning is not happening, right?
Which
The
is really sad.
ballad, where is the ballad?
I, I agree. I
And then
think,
and then
right, which, I mean, the bridge was everything, is
so
everything, and just brings it all home.
so if the components are missing, if the rappers are singing, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not making excuses for R&B artists either. I'm only trying to put this layered cake together for y'all. I think that Tank and Jermaine Dupri have points. I also think
Hmm.
Jermaine Dupri works with enough R&B acts that
Hmm.
he himself could change the game.
I agree with that.
So if the hooks are gone, excuse me, if the bridges are gone, if the crooning is
Put him
gone,
back.
if the ballads are gone, yeah, put them back.
I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it, and there's a very specific type of. I was thinking about Jasmine Sullivan because I'm kind of running through current R&B artists in my head,
Mm-hmm.
and one that will always come to mind for me is Jasmine Sullivan because I love her so much. But in thinking about this and listening to what you're saying and listening to what they said, I'm just thinking about the fact that it's almost like there's only a certain type of Jasmine Sullivan song that really makes it to the airwaves.
That's another part of the cake. Yeah.
It's not usually all of it, right? It's usually like a very specific sound, or, and even if she's put out singles, right? Like, people want to hear, or the radio wants to play Bust Your Windows before playing, I don't know, Pick Up Your Feelings. You know what I mean? And amazing record, right? Like, you could, real R&B. Or even in Ari Lennox. You'll get Ari Lennox, but you won't get some of the music she's put out, like This Is a Single, doesn't actually make it to the radio. And
Well, and that
now that I'm sitting here, I'm processing all of this now. Why is that? What is it? The labels that are just like, people don't want this?
No. When labels and radio dictate what the sound is, you have to make a decision as an artist signed to those the same labels. And so are you going to do what is trendy? Are you going to do the 90-second song that sounds similar to the Drake record and the other rapper singer people? Like, is it going to sound something like that? Or are you going to take big risks and risk not getting played on the radio and not being pushed to TikTok and not
Right.
being pushed to, all of these other places? So I'm not, again, not making excuses, only trying
No,
to
I hear
put
you.
together the layers of the cake. It looks like you and I are on the same page, but I understand that people listen to things and take sound bites and snippets and hold on to them. So I'm
Right.
just trying to be clear to the audience that I think there's a lot of layers to it. And I think
Mhm.
that, yeah, Jermaine Dupri is saying he don't care about writing a bad song because he can always write another one. But I think Jermaine Dupri can impact the game enough where he's tight with the label heads and tight with a lot of artists and writing for a lot of artists and working with a lot of songwriters. And so I think that there are people who are doing it, but they may not have that label deal. They may not have that label push. And so also, yeah, maybe you have a great record maybe you have a 5-minute record that's beautiful and R&B and all of the components and the things that true R&B fans are looking for. But they're not going to put that on after the new Drake. They're not going to put that on after the new Future. They're not
Yeah.
going to put that on after, whatever the Dream is calling himself this week. I mean, not the
I think
Dream. What's the guy? Abel? He changed his name. The Weekend.
The Weeknd.
Yeah, the Weekend.
He
Abel.
technically did not change his name. He just asked us to call him by his real name.
Whatever, man. After that, you're not
Right.
gonna put on like Tyrese dropped a beautiful
So good.
R&B album.
So good.
The songs are long. They have all of the components. They are great R&B records. Nobody heard them shits on a radio. No one heard them on TikTok
He's
because
an
that's
incredible
not the
artist, by
current
the way.
sound. Yeah, yeah. It's a great album.
Hmm.
It's amazing, but you're not going to hear it on TikTok. You're not going to hear it on
No.
YouTube Shorts. You're not going to hear it on Hot 97. You're not going to hear it it's because
Instead, you
there's a
hear my
certain
Shayla.
sound. Right. So
Hmm.
that's what I'm saying, right? It's like there's all of these different layers, but the artists are trying to make decisions if they can even be the ones making them
Right.
because their career is in the balance. So yeah, you could do the Tyrese album where you have this beautiful body of work and it
Hmm.
is true to the R&B and soul that many of us are seeking. But how are you going to get it out to people? That's the next layer of the cake, right? How do
Right.
you get this abnormal product? I'm not saying it's bad, abnormal in the current
Yeah. Yeah.
environment of the game, the current sound that is all the way left from the current sound. How do you get that to get radio play? How do you get that to get pushed to the TikTok and the YouTubes and the Instagrams and all these places that they're now using to market your music to other people? How do you do it?
I think one of the biggest issues here is that we are very much in a dance era. We are very much in an era where people want to be able to somehow apply some sort of movement to the music, if that makes sense. So, for example, TikTok. TikTok sounds go crazy not just because a song sounds good, but also because somehow it's being made actionable. The difficulty with classic R&B is, how do you do that? I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm just saying I think that the microwave we're in is one that requires people to have some sort of bounce or be able to dance or be able to do some sort of gesture or something that calls back to the song in some way and can be done in 30 to 60 seconds. Whereas an actual real R&B song would require you to like what, create a whole 3-minute skit or whatever the case may be. It sounds silly, right? It sounds ridiculous when you think about it. But I think that's the way they look at it now. We can 30 seconds of this song, like My Anxiety, and we can, do a little whatever and it's catchy and, spin around and whatever the dance is. And in 30 seconds, you're in and you're out, and it goes crazy because everybody wants to do it. Everybody wants to copy it. The music we're talking about isn't that. It's not meant to be that. It's not manufactured. It's real, it's honest, it's genuine. The problem with the way that a lot of music gets made now is it's manufactured. Just like everything else, even social media at this point, a lot of it is manufactured because we've gotten moved past the genuine part of it where people were just doing things organically because that's what they wanted to do or they like to do. Now we're in an era where everything is commodified.
Yes.
Down to our music. We don't
Yes.
just get feel good music anymore. People are not just making music to make other people feel good. Some people are, but by and large, that's not what the record labels are looking for. They're looking
No.
for people who are going to create something that is going to be able to go viral, to your point. It sucks. The more we talk about it, the more I think about it, I'm getting frustrated because I love R&B music. I love classic music. I even love the hip hop that we used to all rap along to. I
But
know this conversation's
because
not
we
about that, but that's the thing
no,
too.
it falls in the same vein because what happened is the art and the industry are on two different wavelengths.
Yeah. Listen, I have a lot of respect for Tyler the Creator because he said with Don't Tap the Glass, he was like, people stop dancing. And I really just wanted people to dance. Like
Yep.
genuinely have a good time and dance. And a lot of artists are not thinking about things like that. They're just you fall into the machine because the machine is making you money. What?
I was gonna say, and that's how they say, grab the dance, grab the DJ booth.
Please.
Which one? Which one? Which one? Which one? Oh my God.
Everybody's trying to catch a lick, down to the people who already caught 10 licks. That's the problem. Because Drake don't even need to make something that's going to be a hit. We've talked about it a million times. But everybody's trying to catch a lick, even today. I love free R&B music, okay? I love R&B music, okay? Free it from the shackles that it is under right now because there are some amazing R&B artists out right now, and I agree we don't hear enough of them. Even Snow Allegra. Well, Snow Allegra goes crazy on TikTok, some of her songs.
Yeah.
But that's not the
But
way.
every artist is not a Snow Allegra, right?
Of course.
What?
I said, of course.
Yeah, everybody's not a Snow, and everybody's not a Jasmine Sullivan, right? It's rare that you're gonna find these type of diamonds in the rough who have record deals and have a label that's willing to back them and help them do these things. Because the reality is, without that, it doesn't happen.
Yeah. No, I get it. I understand. I saw a creator I follow post something. I don't know, it was an outfit or something. I didn't really pay attention to it. All I knew was that the sound she used it was on Instagram. She used Be My Summer by Snow Allegra. I said, oh my gosh, okay.
There you go.
Give this a like. Okay. Because because it's authentic. You know? And authenticity is important to some of us. Maybe not all of us, probably not most of us, but some of us.
Not enough of us.
No, not at all.